Hello and welcome to It's Interview Time. I'm Anna, I'm today's host. And as we started studying international communication and business here at the SDI in Munich, we realized the importance of an international and especially of an open communication. Therefore, we invited here today Professor Doctor Salamanca Pilar, Vice President of the International University SDI here in Munich. And she is also an international communication expert. A very warm welcome from my side.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and I'm glad to share experiences and ideas with you.
Can you tell us something more about your role at SDI and maybe also give us a tiny glance into your working life?
I have several roles at university, like most of my colleagues here at the university. First of all, the most important role is I am professor here, so I spent a lot of time doing lessons in the BA program and also in 2 of our master programs and supervising thesis of students. And in this role, it's very important for me also to get advice for students, to be an academic advisor for them. My second role is I am the program director of the BA International Communication and Business, so I have the responsibility for very different tasks, organizing schedules, decide the contents of the program, to look for good teachers, very different things. And the third role is I am, as you said, Vice President of the university, so I am a member of the management team and I'm co-responsible for every decision for the university. Development, organization, relationships with other universities or the companies, and it's also a lot, but I have more tasks. I have to research. Research belongs to the task of every professor at home, so you can see I don't have any typical work life. Every day is different, and this is also what makes the job really amazing.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like a lot of work, a lot of tasks that you have to complete. How has your personal life, but also how has your working life changed after you've left Spain?
Mm-hmm. A lot of things are different when you are living abroad. Germany and Spain are the most important countries for me, but I've lived in 5 countries, also in Belgium, in USA and in Italy. And these experiences really change your life, so private and also professional. You are used to work with people from different countries. You have to change your set mind very often. And also in private life, I have more friends, and I have a German husband. I have also, because of the recent family in Germany, family in Spain. And you have to be flexible and you value things differently too.
Yeah, I think so too. So we are here now at the SDI, and why did you start your career at this university? Was there like a specific thing that attracted you the most about this university?
I began my career here at SDI in October 2012, right? 10 years now. And the reason was I had a good job. I was happy with my job at this time, but I had to commute. And I was living in Munich. I found Munich a very nice city, a lovely place to live, and I was looking for something here in this city. But since I had a good job in Landshut, in this other city, I was not ready to give it up for a worst one. I had the desire to find something really challenging and good for me, for my profile. And I found this position at SDI, and my feeling at this time was it would be a good chance for me, and I was not wrong. I found really a university with amazing contents and programs. I found a place with colleagues and students from all over the world, but at the same time a very familiar environment. And I found this combination was really good.
Yeah. As we know, SDI is a university that focuses a lot on international communication and also on translation. What does communication mean to you?
Quite simple. We cannot live without communication, I think. And as we see, unfortunately, these days, if communication is not working, it can lead to terrifying consequences. Yes. And that's why I'm so happy to see that you are becoming professionals in communication. You young people, this gives me hope.
Thank you very much. It's
a nice thing. Yes.
So now that we know what communication means to you, in your opinion, how do people perceive the role of communication in society?
My wish would be that people could be more aware about the importance of communication, because we have different levels. First of all, we have communication between organizations and countries. As I said, how important is it for peace and
yes.
society? The second level, we have communication between communities, in companies, in families. And the third level, not less important, is the inner communication, how we are speaking to ourselves, which thoughts we are feeling in us. And for these three levels, I think communication is a powerful thing. I believe that every word can help or inflict damage. And I don't have the feeling that everyone is conscious about this. For example, in social media, we are used to see insults every day. It's normal, and it should not be normal. And I think it belongs to education, to get this sensibility, to get this awareness about the power of words and interaction with other people.
Yes, very, very good spoken in my opinion. As the world is evolving into a global village, also because of social media and because of different things happening, why is it nowadays so important to be aware of intercultural differences?
Mm-hmm. You said it, because we are in contact with other people offline, but also remotely. Mm-hmm. People we perhaps never met in person. In the companies, we have customers in other countries and colleagues, but also in families, in communities. And you're right, it's important, but I think it's not enough to be aware of differences. You need also knowledge you can apply in your interactions. Because some people think if we are able to speak, to have a common language, we understand other people, it would work. But if we speak the same language, we can understand what people say, but perhaps not what people mean. Mm-hmm. And this makes a big difference, in my opinion.
Yes.
It's not just a question of communicate contents, but to interpret how other people think and behave. And that's why you began last week the lesson intercultural competences. You have languages, but this is not enough.
Yeah. We know that you've worked outside of Spain in different countries. What differences have you experienced in working these different cultures?
At the beginning in Germany, my challenge was not the intercultural competence, communication, but the language. I came without previous German knowledge. I just knew one word, Pfirsich. Okay. And it was not really helpful in everyday life, especially because I came in the winter, so no Pfirsiche. And this was my main challenge. The whole time I was depending on the help of other people. I was lucky because people were willing to help. Everyone was helping, but if you are not used to work and to live with people from different countries, you can misunderstand the situation. So a lot of people were helping, but they didn't understood that I had just a little language problem. They understood they have to explain to me everything. They thought I was a minor, like a child, but I was not. And I can give you an example. One day I was teaching at a different university, and one day I needed something for my work to write on the blackboard, but I didn't know the name in German, so chalk. No? I couldn't ask for it, and I tried, and a very friendly colleague of mine tried to help, and this person, she tried to explain to me how do you use the chalk on the blackboard, how to write with it, and I couldn't even say I know how it works. Yeah? There is chalk in other countries, not just in Germany, but I cannot say the name. And the main difficulty for me was in this time to accept that I had to begin a little bit like a child, and I was anymore an adult.
Yeah, but so would you say it was difficult for you to adapt to these differences?
For me it was not difficult, because I knew I'm anymore in Spain, so it's not a good idea to compare the whole time. You have to learn here, and you will find always things you like more here in the new country and things you like more in your country. And it's not a good idea to focus on the things you don't like so much. Now, if I look at this past time until now, there is one thing I have difficulties still after so many years, and it's the tone taken in conversations. Do you want what I mean? In Germany you have to wait until the other person is ready, and then you're allowed to speak. And this is for me very difficult, because I'm used, because in Spain it's this way, you can speak when you have something to say, not in 5 minutes when the other person is ready. And perhaps when the German people are ready, the thing I wanted to say is not relevant anymore. And Spanish people, we are not used to wait. And this is still difficult for me after I came in '88. You can imagine, a long time. Everything is fine for me if I'm in Germany, everything is fine in Spain. I can change. This is flexibility. Every country is different. I can change. I'm hungry in Germany at 12. I'm hungry in Spain at 2. Nothing is no problem at all. But this, I have to wait until other people are ready, and I'm not allowed to speak. This is difficult for me still today, especially in professional situations. If you are with friends, it's not so a problem, but in professional situations you have really to take care. Yeah.
Yes. We've also had a short glance over your CV, and we know that you had the chance to work for an EU project about computer-driven translation. Would you mind telling us a bit about your experience working in such a big international project?
You have to be aware in project management, not international, just project management. There is a team with a complex task, with a limited budget, with a client, with needs and perspectives, and you have also a deadline. It's difficult enough. Now, try to imagine this group is not together at the same place. They have different languages, they have different time zones, everything is different. So it's really complex. And you need a leader from this project who is able to understand everyone and to bring together the potential of every person for this common goal. In my experience, in different situations, my role was almost always not to be a member of one team, but to be the bridge, the mediator between teams. And this is really a task where you need to combine energy, a lot of energy, to push things,
Yes.
and at the same time, a lot of patience. And this is not always easy, the balance between these two things.
Yes, I can imagine. For the last few questions, I would like to move on to some questions that are more for SDI students or just in general for students. What was the most important lesson you've learned in your early 20s? Because we are now all in our early 20s.
And you are right, I'm not anymore in my early 20s.
That's not what I wanted to say.
But it's right, you're right. This was the time when I came to Germany.
Mm-hmm.
So a very special time, the first time when I was abroad, without German knowledge, as I said, it was difficult. And at this time I learned that there are a lot of things that are not important at all. And the challenge for you is to find out which things are important.
Mm-hmm.
To eat at 12 or to eat at 2, it's the rule in every country.
Yes.
You think the world is this way, but you change and you see this is not important, and I can adapt. But there are things that are important, and your work is to find out which ones. These are the things you will keep with you everywhere, in every country and every situation. For example, respect for others or some persons in your life. They are important, and no matter where you are. And you realize other things, they are not important at all. They don't matter.
I hope that we all learn that in the future, that we find out what is important to us
and
what is just irrelevant.
Don't care about the other things.
Yeah. You mentioned difficulties, for example, also working in the EU project with the different nationalities, different cultures. And of course there are also hard and difficult times right now here in real life. And how do you keep yourself motivated throughout hard and difficult times?
I ask myself often about the reasons why I'm doing things. They can be professional goals, they can be ethical, moral motivations, and this answer can motivate you if they are bigger, if they are more important than the present difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
In general, to maintain balance in difficult times, I think it's very helpful to keep a good lifestyle. So to sleep enough, to eat healthy meals, to practice hobbies, and to cultivate good and frequent relationships to friends, to family.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you do so, you are prepared for difficult times. And as I said before, we are speaking about communication. It's also important how we speak to ourselves. Because some things, a lot of things, are worse in imagination as in reality.
Yes, probably we just have so many thoughts in our head that we just overthink, but it's not worth it, as you said before.
It's not helping.
It's not helping at all, no. Is there any other advice that you would give SDI students?
I think you heard my advice before, and I will repeat it. Don't be influenced by people who are not desiring to learn.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually very sad to say, but this was it. That was the interview. We really appreciate that you had time for us today, and we want to thank you very much for it. And I hope I will see you too soon at It's Interview Time. Woo!